So if you look at the Butler assassination, like the ear, the blood on his ear, the fact that he lost his shoes. It actually, this is a strange coincidence, but if you look at the Bible, Leviticus, there's a passage in there that says that if the Jewish people are going to appoint a person for a special mission from God, okay, a Messiah figure basically, then there has to be a ritual where there's a sacrifice, an animal sacrifice, and then that the blood from that sacrifice will then be dapped on that person's right ear. Butler assassination was very similar to a ritual initiation.
Yeah, I agree. He didn't know, but it was a setup. I agree with that. He didn't know. It literally, that's why they tackled. It was all a big ritual. How they had the cameras, everything ready. But you couldn't fake it. His face, that was all real. I totally agree with you.
Yes. So it seems, so if you look at the Butler assassination, like the ear, the blood on his ear, the fact that he lost his shoes. It actually, this is a strange coincidence, but if you look at the Bible, Leviticus, there's a passage in there that says that if the Jewish people are going to appoint a person for a special mission from God, okay, a Messiah figure basically, then there has to be a ritual where there's a sacrifice, an animal sacrifice, and then that the blood from that sacrifice will then be dapped on that person's right ear, as well as his toe. And so that Butler assassination was very similar to a ritual initiation.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and fuses is out there. Onto the Zai foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace, as we all know by now. You don't know, I'm about to tell you. Everything is a psyop. Everything is a psyop stage and so forth. The only thing I didn't like, which to this day, I don't know how old that video is because he's no longer supporting Trump per se. That's Alex Jones over here, supposedly. But for him to jump on he didn't know they was doing this. He says, "Why is Jones running cover?" Yeah, like he didn't know they was doing this. All stage attempts. Though this time there shall be several snipers working together and something else. But the people know everything is staged. But for Alex Jones to be like, "Oh, he didn't know they was gonna do that," you more stupid than you look. And you think your audience and people that's that fucking dumb. Yeah, this is the Alex Jones show, not InfoWar. InfoWar no longer have it. And this professor, he came out of the blue. So he probably, obviously, he's juiced in. But he brought up a true biblical account. And that account goes to the high priest. The high priest that is selected out of the bloodline of Aaron. And everything that Esau does do, he does do what the scriptures may say to do with his own intent. In other words, he takes it, he remixes it, and make it to something more evil. Because that's their job. The Edomites are they're the devil, they're the adversary. An adversary means, well, Satan, I'm sorry. Satan means adversary. So they're the adversary to us. All right. Real quick. 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, it says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." So don't marvel for the fact that a wicked individual could seemingly look good. Right? They transform themselves into an angel of light. as if they're something good, but they're not. Nothing about these people are good. The world's a stage, and what he was talking about was the assassination attempt that took place. Who was this? This is before he came into office the second time, right? Yeah. And that assassination attempt, which was weak source, and as soon as people start bringing it out, how this that it was staged, then something else happens. Then the ballroom shit happens. Then when people say, "Oh, the ballroom shit that was fake," then what was it last? Yeah, Monday or Tuesday, Monday or Sunday. He runs from his son's wedding. Oh, come to find out that his son is marrying a woman that was related to Epstein's lawyer. Go figures, no attachments, right? And as soon as he goes back to the White House, the day that he go back to the White House to sort of fucking, he was running back because something was going on with Iran and gunshots, bomb, 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 bomb. And all this shit is staged, man. All this shit is just played out, and everybody's starting to see for who they are. So therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. And that's how they present themselves. All right, they present themselves as the righteous. Because in reality, the people that claim to be righteous in this world, you know, so the Christians and all that, they're wicked as all hell. And why is the Trump? I'm not. What's his face? The Pope apologized for slavery. The UN, which wasn't really a UN meeting. Yeah, you could say that. Maybe a month ago, all nations apologized for slavery except for the United States of America, Babylon the Great, Israel, and Argentina. And Argentina, the only reason why Argentina, because it's ran by the rats that wear the small hats. So the world knows exactly what the evil shit that they do. And they put it on Jump Street, but they're so wicked that they themselves pretend they don't do no wrong. Everything that they do is righteous. Like how they when they indict, I think he's a president of Cuba, and use say that he killed a couple people. I think like 4 people or something like that. So the U.S. is indicting him to go in. So the people when they the way the news spin it was as if the United States had the rights or jurisdiction to go to another land to do those things. But these hypocrites do far worse things than anybody else does, and nobody can charge them with anything. So though they present themselves as righteous, they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of, whose end shall whose end shall be according to their works. Which in this case, Edomites are going down. But everything that's being done is a performance. Now, where did he get this idea from? Exodus 29, 29 and 2. 20, Exodus 29 and 20. Then shalt thou kill the ram and take of his blood and put it upon thy tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of the right foot, and sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. So bring that out to show you, yeah, that's why that was the way of the anointment of um the high priest. So Trump is symbolizing as a high priest. He's a high witch. This is why what's that damn bitch name? The spirit cook bit. This Maria. Bubble bitch or something like that. I don't know. I'm not even gonna look it up, but she had made a statement. There was a video going on saying that Trump is the greatest, um, like he's the greatest witch. Let me see something. Hold on. I'm gonna have to Google this. Not Google it. Maybe I have to. I don't know. No, I can't. I can't Google that. It was on Instagram that I saw it. So, and the way she said it, these people ain't playing. All right. They believe the things that they're they, they're pushing out there. Let me see something. Let me see. I'm going around it. I don't know if they're gonna have it. Damn. Oh, I'm sorry. I put high priest. I did Maria. I think it's Maria. There it is. Wow. Boom. Bam. Boom. Why do you how about me outside?
Trump is the best thing happened ever to us. That he is the magician of the highest order.
You heard what the? Let me go back to that. Hear what she says. So they're not playing games. They are deadly serious when it comes down to their New World Order, the things that they do on the left hand side. All right, the rituals that they do in front of everybody and what they do behind the closed doors, and how they set everything up.
The Trump is the best thing happened ever to us. That he is the magician of the highest order.
He's a magician of the highest order. And I mean, the same conversation she said. Uh, let me see if they have it. No, this is too long. It's not only that he's a magician of the highest order. She said that he brings in mass confusion. And MAGA is the highest degree in the Church of Satan. Not surprising. We let this rock because I never seen this before. So, and they got it. They got it. They got some of it.
I'm not just MAGA. I'm Gothic MAGA.
Is Trump himself the Antichrist? No, he's not. The whole goddamn system, the whole world is against the anointed. He just so happened to be a vessel, that cruel Lord, and you could clearly see why. And the Lord had to prop this dude up. Everything is being built right before our eyes. So, yeah, in that same sentence, she said, yeah, he's here to deceive the world. All right. In that same sentence, let me see if this guy says it. I hate YouTube and his fucking commercials. Let me see if he plays it. Yeah, about the biatch. I'm not gonna play it because I didn't watch none of this. Oh, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, this is not it then. The one I saw was on Instagram months ago. But like I said, she openly admitted that this guy was on a high level. And it wasn't by accident. That whole thing was staged to make himself seemingly like the Lord anointed him. Wisdom of Solomon 2:16, but we saw that at 14. He was made to reprove our thoughts, talking about the righteous. Matter of fact, 13. He professes to have the knowledge of the Most High. He have called himself the child of the Lord. So this is the wicked talking about the righteous. All right. Because they're going to test the boundaries as their forefathers did of who truly believe in the Lord and who don't. That's what they was put on earth for. So although, like the scripture says, although the righteous um, seem to be tortured, they're good in good hands. But these are the beings on the planet Earth that's going to try to break brothers and a few sisters out there. The elect, they're going to try to break the elect. So he says he was made to reprove our thoughts, mean to correct their thoughts. All right. He is grievous unto us, even to the behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion, because our ways are ancient, archaic, whatever you want to call it. We carry that spirit. All right. And it says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. So if we're the original, like we say we are, they're obviously the counterfeit. They're obviously the fake. Like all these TV shows and talk about double gangers and all this, they're adverse to us. This is why, matter of fact, to prove that real quick, classic goodie. Revelation 3:9. It says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. So synagogue is the chief house, but it says of Satan. And we, like I said, Satan means adversary. It says, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I love thee. So there's people out there that's the complete opposite. They are they were made to be the adversary towards us. When you look into Genesis, the fourth chapter, fourth chapter, when Cain and Seth start to have children, a lot of them had children that had the same name. That's why Sirach 33rd chapter tells you, good is set against evil, life against death. So we have our rituals that we supposed to perform, all right, which is not really a ritual per se, like how they do it, and they do their thing. Just like how Cain and Abel, they knew the law, and Abel did what was required to satisfy the Lord. Yet Cain did the complete opposite. And this is what is these are the people that's running the show to this day. Not only do they the complete opposite, they do what displeased the Lord. All right. They into human sacrifice. That's why they're being blasted. That's why they're being looked upon down. So everything that they do is a counterfeit to what we represent. Ezekiel, let me see if I can remember. 28? Yeah, I think it's 28. Yep, straight to the point. Matter of fact, I can go up a little bit. Nah, let me go to the point. Ezekiel 28:14. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth I have set thee so. So the anointed cherub, meaning the Lord created Esau to be that way. Cherub is a mighty angel, but they're the angels on the left hand side. All right, they're just the physical angels on the left. They're the messengers of death, of confusion. They are this, they are spiritually the vessels of Satan. All right, Salakia. I have set thee so. So meaning that the Lord created in that way. Scripture say that the Lord created all things for himself, yet even the wicked for that day of evil. That was upon the holy mountain of the Most High, that have walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire, that was perfect in thy ways, from the day that was created, until iniquity was found in thee. What is iniquity? Sin. All right. So sin was found in them. Matter of fact, since I mentioned a foredaddy, so everything that we do, they're gonna do opposite. They're gonna do the complete opposite. They're gonna do all the wrong things. That's who they are. If I go say it again, it means that they were on Job real quick. Oh no, I was gonna get. I now remember. It's like yeah, I be losing my memory a lot. Um, Genesis 4 and 8. No, no. Let me go to the point. Genesis 4 and 11. No. Oh, I gotta go up. Sorry. Genesis 4 and 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why, why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou didst well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou didst not well, sin lieth at the door. So iniquity is found in these people. That's in their spirit. All right, that was something that's a part of them. Scripture says that the wicked are estranged from the womb. They speak in lies as soon as they be born. That which is crooked, who can make straight? Matter of fact, in the Job it tells you, Job 20 and from the youth. So everything that's being done to show you that they had the spirit of that serpent in the garden. They carry that same spirit. All right, and they've been practicing this shit. Matter of fact, let's see if I can remember. No, hold on. Is it? Oh, I'm thinking Isaiah. Sorry, Isaiah 47. Yep, that's what I was thinking about. It's 47 and 12. It says, stand down now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. So they've been laboring for this for a long time. The world is a stage, and what we've seen is ritual magic that's being performed by high level witches and warlocks. The lies, the deception, the sleight of hand. They have put a spell over they have casted that lie over the people. And right now what's happening is that they're losing that strength, which is resulting to them to do what their next blessing was. The next blessing is the sword. But they've been practicing this shit from their youth. This is why they want to push their agenda, their transhumanism agenda. which in reality is just an enslavement of everybody. Not freedom, all right? Not free will, it's just enslaving everybody. They're gonna know your thoughts, they're gonna know what you're doing, how you do your thing. You are no longer be an individual, you're gonna be a hive mentality. You're gonna follow what their direction is to be set. Nothing unique. It's just like back in the days they had black and white TVs, right? There was no color TV. So everything, every channel, every single fucking show. I didn't mind the monsters. What other show was good? Black and white. I Love Lucy. That was a good one. The Honeymooners. I'm thinking of all the good shows. Oh, the Three Stooges. Like certain things. It was all black and white, but certain things about it was different. Comedy was different. The way they was doing things. Um, tells Twilight Zone. It was more of a studio background, meaning they would just act in one room. That's why when I was younger, when I used to play these reruns, it's like, that's boring. But that's all they had. That was the way of that witchcraft. When they add color to it, color is vibrant, right? So now you get to see things. You get to see people how they really look and all this other stuff. And then the times pass, you could barely see anything. Everything was like a fucking snowball effect. You watching TV, you need to the antenna had to be right. The things start to go up, and then from there, you had cable TV, and then from there, from cable, you had DVDs, CDs, and all DVDs. There was another laser disc. Sorry, there was a laser disc, then the DVDs, and so forth. And then they start giving you different type of pixels. Now, bring all this up for what? You've seen the transition of the witchcraft. Old Hollywood captivated a mind in black and white. The new Hollywood captivates your mind in 4K, 5K, 10, whatever. So throughout the years, which they all had this technology way before ahead of time, but they dish it out and they make merchandise of it. So we might be at 8K or more, for all we know. But all that is in our eyes anyway. So they've been practicing certain things from the moment that they was back then. You could deceive some people, but you couldn't deceive the entire world until now. Now they have the avenue, they have the technology to deceive the whole fucking world. This is why everybody that thought you came from another country and you came to America, mainly New York or LA, because there was a lot. You thought this place was golden. You thought this is the greatest place in the fucking world until you stepped foot here. Because the spell was so strong. It was strong in black and white. Think about it. Black and white TV still captivated the minds of the people because most people didn't have anything. And all they could see was what they was performing. So the same thing. You have an actor for a president, and his whole thing is a cult of personality where everybody is captivated by his personality. So he could do whatever, but he's a high level performer. That fool, they say what more than no it was a landslide. This one was a landslide, but he fooled the majority of the people of this country because he's a high level witch. I can't even call him a wizard. He's a high level witch, and they telling us that they have their own Chaldees, which the Chaldees of today is the Freemasons. if thou be, if thou, sorry, if so be thou, sorry, if so be thou shall be able to profit, if so mayest prevail. So what it means by that, I mean, if your witchcraft that you've been performing for so long was so good, so tight, you will be able to prevail from this the real set destruction. And this is why he made a statement a couple, maybe a year ago. Yeah, this it was a year ago because they attacked Iran in July. And he said because they called it the 12-day blocker, the 12-day war. They called it the 12-day war, and he said that people thought it was going to be a long forever war, but it's not. People thought the war that was going to end of being the Middle East was going to be the war to end all wars. Where I just stopped it. That's witchcraft. All right. So people went right back to sleep. Now we right in the mix of this shit, and they're not coming out of it. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get out of it, but he's knee deep into it. And every time he pulls back, they keep pulling back in. They are worried. Sorry, they are worried in the multitude of thy councils, which is the Bilderberg meeting, Council 300, World Economic Forum, all these different meetings, all these different councils to push forward this agenda, this new world order agenda, and putting the right personnel in the front to perform in front of the masses. This strong spell that they have over the people. It says, "Let now the astrologers and stargazers, so those that know time, like come to find out the reason why they have a lot of album sales. Um, the peak of the year is during October. So back in the days, new albums that's supposed to be like that heavy period of time was around September, October. Because right after that, you have Halloween, you have um, things, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So this is the holidays. That's their holiday season, their peak. But albums during that time frame. So they study time. They study when to do things. That's why the war was in March, which March falls into what? Mars. All right. There's another word for this guy too. Mars, Hades. Yeah, god of war. The term March on Mars. That's a Roman terminology. So they do things in timely. All right. The monthly parsonators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So use all that level of witchcraft that you have and see if they could get you out of that set destruction that was promised. And answer that, they can't get them out of there. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at it, nor fire to sit before it. So the set fire, the set destruction is coming, no matter what. Whoever they have is a top performer. That's all it is. This is a performance. It irritates you. It gravitates to you. You could pretend like it doesn't exist, as nothing's happening, but things are happening. You could play ignorant. You could play innocent bystander. You could like, I'm not into this. It's not my thing. All that shit doesn't matter. You still under the spell that is what has been cast. Look at the options that's out there. All options are taken out the table from. Why? Because they're performing. They're performing a spell. It says, "Thus shall that." Sorry, thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored. So this is years and years and years of perfecting. That even thy merchants from thy youth, they shall wander every one to his quarter, and none shall save it. So when they speak about the youth in this terminology, that's going back way back when their level of witchcraft was not high, but is at its peak right now. It has fooled the masses of the people. So if that's the case, you could prevent the set destruction of your entire kingdom. That's what the Lord is saying. America's a part of it. Israel's a part of it. All right. Their new world order, that's a major part of it. If you're such a great performer, get yourself out of this situation. But they can't, because it's set in stone. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.